All right, let's talk about something that touches all of us, money and generosity. We're going to unpack a huge shift in thinking. Moving from an old school rule about giving 10% to a whole new way of looking at things that honestly flips the entire idea on its head. And it all kicks off with one single, really shocking question. Yeah, talk about intense. This is probably one of the most direct, in-your-face questions in the whole Bible. I mean, can you imagine someone asking you this point blank? It's personal, it's designed to make you stop and think, but what on earth does it even mean to rob God? So this shocking accusation really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about. And it's not about what you might think, like some kind of literal theft from a heavenly vault. Nope, the issue was much, much closer to home. Okay, so here's the key. The robbery they're talking about, it was about holding back something very specific, tithes and offerings. Now, this was a system that was just completely woven into the fabric of ancient Israel's society. And to really get why withholding it was such a huge deal, we've got to dig into what it was for in the first place. So why did this system even exist? It really wasn't just some kind of religious tax. It was actually this whole comprehensive social and spiritual framework. And it was designed to keep the entire community running and, well, focused. What's so interesting here is just how multifaceted the tithe really was. For one, it supported the priestly tribe, the Levites, who weren't given any land to farm. It also funded big community celebrations and even acted as a social safety net for the poor. On top of all that, it was a spiritual act, a tangible way to remember that everything they had ultimately came from God. It was a whole system built for a very specific people in a specific time and place. But then, things change. With the arrival of Jesus and the New Testament, there's this really fundamental shift. The whole conversation moves away from external rules and regulations and starts focusing on our internal motivation. And that brings up a pretty crucial question for believers today. And this is the question, right? This is what so many people wonder about. If that old system was so specific to ancient Israel, is that 10% figure still a command? Is it a guideline? Or is it something else entirely? And wow, this really lays out the difference, doesn't it? You can see the whole focus just shifts. We're moving away from a legal thing, a fixed 10%, and moving toward an attitude, something that comes from the heart. It's not about a national duty for Israel anymore. It's about a joyful, grace-fueled response for a global community. It's so much less about the percentage and way more about the posture. So, if it's not about a rigid rule, then what is it about? Well, the New Testament introduces us to a totally new kind of giver. Someone who's motivated not by being forced to do something, but by something way more powerful. This verse right here is the real game changer. Just look at those key phrases. Decided in your heart, not reluctantly, not under compulsion. The emphasis is 100% on your own internal decision. Enjoy. Generosity is meant to be a happy, willing thing, not like you're begrudgingly paying off a debt. The source material we're looking at calls this glädjeorientert Gifttjeneste, which translates to joy-oriented giving. And what a beautiful concept that is, right? It's giving that just flows naturally from a heart that is thankful and joyful for what it's already received. So, how does this actually work? Well, it all starts with grace, with recognizing the incredible gift you've already been given. Then, from that place of gratitude, a decision springs from your heart. And that internal decision leads to real-world action, to practically helping other people and showing your gratitude. And all of this leads us to a final, really powerful metaphor that completely reframes our entire relationship with our stuff, with our resources. It's a concept that takes us so far beyond the simple question of, how much should I give? The source text gives this idea a fantastic name, the omvendt lommeboek, which translates to the inverted wallet. And the idea isn't just taking a little bit out of your wallet to give away. It's about turning the whole thing upside down. And this is the absolute core of the inverted wallet principle. The whole question changes. It's no longer, okay, what percentage of my money belongs to God? Instead, the question becomes, wait a minute, since 100% of this is a resource God has entrusted to me, how can I best manage all of it for His purposes and to do good in the world? It's a massive shift from ownership to stewardship. So, we'll leave you with this to think about. What happens when you stop thinking just about the 10% you might give away and start thinking about the 100% you manage? How does adopting an inverted wallet mindset change how you see your career, your budget, your savings, your spending? I mean, it's a question that could change everything.